I didn't even see it coming, really. Just like a couple of weeks ago, somebody said, well, we'll be celebrating our 100th. It's like, what?
Everybody excited for the carnival?
Sure. I am.
Pass.
It feels amazing. It feels like the way that time passes when your kids grow. And these kids on the show marking time in that strange way, but to watch them grow so fast, it doesn't feel like five seasons. It doesn't feel like 100 episodes. Sure you don't want to play soccer or something?
Nope.
Cheerleading.
Baseball.
Yeah.
We have a wonderful crew member named Mocha Bob, we call him, that's his nickname. And he said that this show is prayer answering and career extending, and he is totally right. We're very lucky. This is, like, crazy.
Your father's a mechanic. Interesting. You know what else is interesting? Quantum mechanics. That describes the basic particles and forces that make up reality. Let's talk about that.
I mean, I can't even put it into words. It's crazy because, like, when I look back of, where we started and how young we were.
I don't want to celebrate too soon, but Meemaw and Mr. Rosenblum are back and he was crying.
And, it's been 5 years now and it's just, it flew by, but, I mean, they do say when you're having fun, time flies. So, we're all having fun. It's all a big family. So, I mean, it's something we can say we've done, for sure. I mean, it's amazing to get here.
It's insane. It's such an honor, but it's just crazy because, like, I go back and I look at, like the pilot, and I'm like, that's insane. Like, everyone was just, like, they looked so little.
It feels surreal. It feels like it could have been 100 and then not at all. Hey, how'd it go?
Great, turn to Channel 7.
I'm watching the game.
But I'm going to be on Channel 7.
What's he talking about?
He's gonna be on Channel 7.
I was shocked to learn that the Happy Hearth Home Bakeries had been bought out by the Domestic Food Corporation, and they started making their bread faster and cheaper.
You don't like that, do you?
No.
And you're collecting signatures to make them stop.
But, I don't know, as we were just remarking, it's like, one likes to think, I haven't aged that much in all this time, and then you see children go from here to here, and it's like, oh, well, maybe time has passed.
We came from a show called The Big Bang Theory. That was no slouch. That gave us a little bit of, I think, some stable ground to go into this TV world with that backing us, right? People put eyes on the show because of that show.
Well, gosh, you can't, refrain from talking about the gargantuan success of really all of Chuck Lorre's shows, rightfully so, because they're all just, hilarious.
Well, I think that I think the characters are really relatable. I mean, people tune in so they can see themselves.
I think the best part of being a member of, the Young Sheldon cast and crew and family sort of is it really does feel like a family. I mean, we joke around with each other like a family would.
I have something important that I'd like to say. These last few days, I've been giving the new Happy Hearth bread another chance, and I've decided it's not so bad.
But being part of the Coopers is fun for me because they are familiar. I mean, the Cooper family is somewhat familiar to me from the era that they're in. And there's a lot of nostalgia on the show that I get a kick out of, that I recognize from my own personal experience growing up in that era. And that's fun to be a part of that.
Well, I mean, honestly, and I feel like I say this every interview, but it's so true, that every family can relate to the show. I mean, there's so many different personalities. There's, the Missy character that's kind of like, whatever about this and whatever about that. And then there's a Sheldon character that's more like, scientific and smart and everything like that.
So the problem that I'm running into is I can't get the inner sphere to remain suspended in the buffer liquid.
Have you tried wrapping the sphere in copper wire?
I did, but it just slips out.
Like, I've had a bunch of people come up to me and be like, oh my God, I watched the show with my family, and we all have like someone that like is in the like in your cast that we can relate to.
I mean, I get just tickled. Even the the dinner scene that we were shooting before. I mean, some of the stuff that Annie was doing was just killing me, and it's always a treat to see people kind of delighting in what they do.
You know, golly gosh, these writers are just so fantastic. They sort of they never let you down.
Me, Mom?
You want to try that again?
I need to buy a computer so I can solve the Navier-Stokes equation.
Uh-huh. How much is a computer?
Apple has a nice one for $2,000, but the kind I need costs $3 million.
Let me see what I got in the vault. $9 and oh, look at that, a peso.
Well, I have a lot of favorite memories, of course, but one of my very favorites is a while ago, I believe it was during season 2. Reagan and I would love to play on the set during lunchtime because, you know, it's a whole big stage with there's so many hide and seek spots. We'd run around and play tag and stuff. But it is an industrial workspace, and a lot of people would be sleeping on the set during lunch. And we were very, energetic and needed a place to run around. And we were kind of too little to walk around the lot by ourselves. So we wrote a letter to the then president of Warner Brothers.
Wait, would you like to sign my petition against Happy Hearth Home Bakeries?
What have they done?
They're making their bread faster and cheaper to save money.
That's terrible.
It is. Would you like to sign?
And asked him if they could we basically wrote a letter saying, is there any way you can designate a place for us to play, or is there an area you can think of? They built us a park, and it was so cool. I remember they actually tricked us. They said we were going to do an interview or something at the building, at the office building, and they'd built a park for us. It had a little sign that said Young Sheldon Park, but it was really cool and awesome. And I just remember that was such a kind, crazy thing that it just kind of shows you how considerate people are here at Warner Brothers. It's insane that I get to work here, and I'm very lucky.
Am I the only one who just got chills?
Let's start with business deductions from Schedule A on the tax return dated 1989.
I know, bold opening move. Don't worry, I came to play.
Happy to. I've got those receipts right here.
Well, not to reiterate, but my favorite stuff to shoot is when I have I have some George go-tos, as any actor does, right? We have things that we get comfortable with, and I have some George faces, and we've even named them. We've started numbering them.
Some of my favorite episodes are episodes where we get to understand why Sheldon has certain mannerisms or certain thoughts or feelings on The Big Bang Theory, like when they revealed his love of comic books, or why he hates geology, or why he thinks engineers are dumb. There were so many funny episodes of film like that had little Easter eggs for Big Bang fans. And I thought that was just really interesting and cool that they were able to work that in. And the thing about our show is we're very unique in the fact that we're a prequel to a very popular show. And of course, since it ran such a long time, they dropped a lot of hints about what Sheldon's life was like as a kid. So we're really lucky to be able to follow up on that. And I think it makes fans very happy.
Well, if I could go back to the pilot and tell myself one thing, I'd probably tell myself that it's going to be a fun ride, and you're going to be in California for a while, so you might as well enjoy it while you're here.
I think if I could go back and tell my past self anything from, what I've learned and my experiences on this show and just in life, is always be true to you, of course, which I always try to be, and also always be grateful and know how lucky you are. And, I am not the reason that this show is so successful. I am part of the reason, but it's because of our hardworking cast and crew, and I think, always remember that. And also, I would say, just, keep it fun. You're only a kid once, and you only live once, so why not have a good time?
I've had enough of this. Sheldon, get up.
What's the point?
We're going to Houston.
Really?
Yeah. You and me are gonna give those space monkeys a little talking to.
I think I would tell myself on the pilot to not be so nervous. Whenever I started the show, it was like the first big thing I'd done besides like guest starring on projects. And I was so nervous, I was so tense the entire time. I was like, I'm gonna mess this up. And anytime I would like mess up a line, I'd be so paranoid for like takes afterwards. Like, I'm just gonna mess up the entire scene. And I was so paranoid about like messing everything up. But now that I've been on the show for a while, for 100 episodes now, I'm definitely gotten more relaxed and comfortable.
One thing I love about working on Young Sheldon is that we have such an amazing and loyal fan base because of Big Bang, but also now in our own right, because we've been going for 5 seasons and people have started to really enjoy the show just for us. And I'm so, so glad that they do. And whenever I meet someone who enjoys Young Sheldon, I'm always incredibly happy because I've gotten to make them happy.
It genuinely moves me to be approached by anyone that says they like the show. It makes me feel good. Doesn't just swell my head; it swells my heart, and I'll be forever grateful.
I mean, first of all, I just want to say thank y'all very much. And you know, every time a fan comes up to me in real life, I make sure to give them the time of the day, and you know, tell them thank you and everything. Because if it wasn't for them, I mean, we wouldn't still be on air. So you know, I want to make sure to let them know that I appreciate them for everything and watching the show, because that's what keeps us going.
Thank you for finding yourself in the show and supporting us every week. I mean, we're nothing if nobody watches us. But I know, especially during COVID, I've heard from a lot of people saying, this is the sanest part of my week. It's a little island of sanity and delight that I can land on you once a week and count on it to make me forget what's going on outside the closed curtains.
I mean, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You're the reason that we've made it this far, and I'm just so thankful for you guys because like I said, you welcomed us, and you just made us feel so grateful for this show and just the time that we've had on it, and I'm so thankful for you guys.